Hare Krishna everyone. I hope all of you are doing well. Today I'm back with another episode and we are going to do shloka number 8 today. Last we had discussed about shloka number 7 where we had discussed how Arjun had asked the question that he was in a dilemma and what he should do. And Sri Krishna told him the difference between enlightened soul and the souls which were still asleep. And today we are going to understand what he tells Arjuna in shloka number 8. So let's get started with shloka number 8. Nahi prapashyami mamapanudyad yachchokam uchoshanam indriyanam avapya bhumav asapatam radhyam rajyam suranam api chadipadyam, which means I can find no means to drive away this grief which is drying up my senses. I will not be able to destroy it even if I win an unrivaled kingdom on the earth with sovereignty like the demigods in heaven. Let me go about this in Hindi, way much better. Shri Bhagwan, no, just a second. Yeah. मुझे ऐसा कोई साधन नहीं दिखता जो मेरी इंद्रियों को सुखाने वाले इस शोक को दूर कर सके। स्वर्ग पर देवताओं के आधिपत्य की तरह इस धनधान्य संपन्न सारी पृथ्वी पर निष्कंटक राज्य प्राप्त करके भी मैं इस शोक को दूर नहीं कर सकूंगा। यद्यपि अर्जुन धर्म तथा सदाचार के नियमों पर आधारित अनेक तर्क प्रस्तुत करता है, किंतु ऐसा प्रतीत होता है कि वह अपने गुरु भगवान श्री कृष्ण की सहायता के बिना अपनी असली समस्या को हल नहीं कर पा रहा। वह समझ गया था कि उसका तथाकथित ज्ञान उसकी उन समस्याओं को दूर करने में व्यर्थ है जो उसके सारे अस्तित्व शरीर को सुखाए दे रही थी। उसे इन उलझनों को भगवान कृष्ण जैसे आध्यात्मिक गुरु की सहायता के बिना हल कर पाना असंभव लग रहा था। शैक्षिक ज्ञान, विद्वता, उच्च पद, ये सब जीवन की समस्याओं का हल करने में व्यर्थ हैं। यदि कोई इसमें सहायता कर सकता है तो वह है एकमात्र गुरु। अतः निष्कर्ष यह निकला कि गुरु को 100% कृष्ण भावान्वित होता है। वही एकमात्र प्रामाणिक गुरु है और वही जीवन की समस्याओं को हल कर सकता है। भगवान चैतन्य ने कहा है कि जो कृष्ण भावान्वित के विज्ञान में दक्ष हो, कृष्ण तत्ववेत्ता हो, चाहे वह जिस किसी जाति का हो, वही वास्तविक गुरु है। किबा विप्र किबा न्यासी शूद्र कहने नय, यही कृष्ण तत्ववेत्ता से गुरु है। कोई व्यक्ति चाहे वह विप्र वैदिक ज्ञान में दक्ष हो, निम्न जाति में जन्मा शूद्र हो या कि सन्यासी, यदि वह कृष्ण के विज्ञान में दक्ष कृष्ण तत्ववेत्ता है तो वह यथार्थ प्रामाणिक गुरु है। चैतन्य चरितामृत। अतः कृष्ण तत्ववेत्ता हुए बिना कोई भी प्रामाणिक गुरु नहीं हो सकता। वैदिक साहित्य में भी कहा गया है, षट कर्म निपुणो विप्रो मंत्र तंत्र विशारदः अवैष्णवो गुरुने स्यादः वैष्णवः श्रीपचो गुरु। विद्वान ब्राह्मण भले ही वह संपूर्ण वैदिक ज्ञान में पारंगत क्यों न हो, यदि वह वैष्णव नहीं है या कृष्ण भावामृत में दक्ष नहीं है तो गुरु बनने का पात्र नहीं है। किंतु शूद्र यदि वह वैष्णव या कृष्ण भक्ति में कृष्ण भक्त है तो गुरु बन सकता है। संसार की समस्याओं जन्म, जरा, व्याधि तथा मृत्यु की निवृत्ति धन संचय तथा आर्थिक विकास से संभव नहीं है। विश्व के विभिन्न भोगों में ऐसे राज्य हैं जो जीवन की सारी सुविधाओं से तथा संपत्ति एवं आर्थिक विकास से पूरित हैं, किंतु फिर भी उनके सांसारिक जीवन की समस्याएं ज्यों की त्यों बनी हुई हैं। वे विभिन्न साधनों से शांति खोजते हैं, किंतु वास्तविक सुख उन्हें तभी मिल पाता है जब वे कृष्ण भावामृत से युक्त कृष्ण के प्रामाणिक प्रतिनिधि के माध्यम से कृष्ण अथवा कृष्ण तत्व पूरक भगवद गीता तथा श्रीमद् भागवतम के परामर्श को ग्रहण करते हैं। यदि आर्थिक विकास तथा भौतिक सुख किसी के पारिवारिक, सामाजिक, राष्ट्रीय या अंतर्राष्ट्रीय अव्यवस्था से उत्पन्न हुए शोकों को दूर कर पाते तो अर्जुन यह न कहता कि पृथ्वी का अप्रतिम राज्य या स्वर्ग लोक में देवताओं की सर्वोच्चता भी उसके शोकों को दूर नहीं कर सकती। इसलिए उसने कृष्ण भावामृत का ही आश्रय ग्रहण किया और यही शांति तथा समरसता का उचित मार्ग है। आर्थिक विकास या विश्व आधिपत्य प्राकृतिक प्रलय द्वारा किसी भी क्षण समाप्त हो सकता है। यहाँ तक कि चंद्रलोक जैसे उच्च लोकों की यात्रा भी, जिसके लिए मनुष्य प्रयत्नशील है, एक झटके में समाप्त हो सकती है। भगवद गीता इसकी पुष्टि करती है। क्षिणे पुण्ये मर्त्यलोकम विशन्ति। जब पुण्य कर्मों के फल समाप्त हो जाते हैं तो मनुष्य सुख के शिखर से जीवन के निम्नतम स्तर पर गिर जाता है। इस तरह से विश्व के अनेक राजनीतिज्ञों का पतन हुआ है। ऐसा अध्यपतन शोक का कारण बनता है। अतः यदि हम सदा के लिए शोक का निवारण चाहते हैं तो हमें कृष्ण की शरण ग्रहण करनी होगी, जिस तरह अर्जुन ने की। अर्जुन ने कृष्ण से प्रार्थना की कि वे उसकी समस्या का निश्चित समाधान कर दें और यही कृष्ण भावामृत की विधि है। So here they have discussed a couple of things. The first one being Arjuna came to a place where all his material wisdom, where all his material learning was not sufficient enough to solve that problem or to bring him to a conclusion of a better decision making. So he felt that all that material wisdom was actually useless for him to find any sort of clarity. Yes, it is useful in the material world, but here the sort of decision he had to make, it was not enough. So he knew that any sort of subject knowledge, any sort of high position, or any material wisdom is not enough for solving situations like this, where the problem is related to the soul, where the problem is related to the karma and what he had to choose ahead. So what happens is, here he understands that he needs Sri Krishna to help him and guide him like his guru, where Sri Krishna is the actual guru. And anyone who has Krishna Bhavanmrit, as in devotion to Sri Krishna within their heart, love for Sri Krishna, is actually someone who can be called Guru. Because once they develop this devotion, they also activate the Krishna Tattva within them, and somehow Krishna's wisdom flows through them. And what happens is only such person is considered to be a guru who has the bhakti involved for Sri Krishna, and if they are highly devoted to Sri Krishna and um, they have dedicated their lives to Sri Krishna, surrendered themselves to Sri Krishna, are the ones who are actually gurus, because they are being guided by Sri Krishna, and anyone who follows such guru is indirectly being guided by Sri Krishna, right? So there's a difference between a guru who is very ego oriented, where a guru goes around and says that, I should be worshipped, but an actual guru is not that guru. An actual guru is out there connecting people to God, and he tells that God should be worshipped. That is the difference between a true guru and a fake guru. And specifically in times of Kali, it's very important for you to understand that are you actually being connected to God, or you are just a part of a cult? So this is one part, and then what happens is here in the second part they say that anybody else who is a Vedic scholar or a sannyasi or a yogi, even if someone who has the best wisdom of the world but does not have devotion towards Sri Krishna, cannot be called a guru, because firstly they will not lead you towards God, because they themselves are not directed to God. So they will lead you more towards materialistic goals and materialistic entanglements, and then you will go further away from God, which is not the main purpose of your life. The purpose of your life is to move towards God and not away from Him. So anything that takes you away from God is a distraction in your life. That's how easily you understand this. So what happens is here, anyone who has deep devotion towards Sri Krishna naturally becomes a Vaishnava in heart. It does not always have to be in terms of outer look, right? It is more about what they feel in the heart and how devoted they are to God and how much they like to listen to God's Leelas and all of these things. You will understand a true Vaishnava is someone who loves talking about God, who loves listening to God's Leelas, and they'll be obsessed with Shri Krishna, basically that. So, and they will be obsessed in a very healthy way, in more like that they adore Shri Krishna always, and they look up to Shri Krishna for everything. So those are the type of people who can impart wisdom, because there is a sense of humility in them, and there is a sense of compassion in them. That is also how you know, because a true guru is not just someone who awakens you towards God, but someone who is also extremely compassionate to people's suffering, and they cannot see people suffer. They will somehow try to help in some way or the other. So now what happens in the third para, it says that many nations in the world which are well off materialistically, like they are at the top of the globe, but they don't have any soul. They lack happiness. There is no devotion. And these people from such countries are in search of peace and happiness, because there's no soul. It is all empty and void for them. So they try to fill it with, external things that help in their sense pleasure. So it could be anything, whether they go drink or whether they go to, the sense pleasures. So they think that they will find happiness in a temporary place, that is the material world. So the actual happiness does not come anywhere outside in the material world. It comes only with God's devotion and love. That is where you find peace, truth, happiness, love, everything that fills your joy with life. Now, it also comes in two ways, like either when you're listening and following the Bhagavad Gita each day in your life, some way you're connected to Lord Shri Krishna. That is also a beautiful sign for you to understand that not everybody gets chosen to listen and connect with him and to listen to his wisdom. So if you are watching this video, you are here because he wants you to be here. So consider yourself extremely lucky that you're finding interest in something that is related to God. That means you're in the right path. Second, listening to Srimad Bhagavatam. Now, Srimad Bhagavatam is basically about all the Leelas of Sri Krishna. So, it is one of the most beautiful books. I wouldn't just call it a book. I don't know what to say in the specific word, but it is something that, like, just one page, if you start reading every day, you will start feeling that inner bliss and happiness, and gradually everything inside you starts changing. Like, you start feeling more happy, you start feeling more at peace, and you start feeling more connected with life and with your own true self. And it's like, I cannot describe it in words. It can only be experienced, and I want all of you to experience something like this, because that is true happiness. And at first, what happens is, if you're not deep into bhakti first, so what happens is you may feel sleepy in the starting phase if you are not someone who listens to Sri Krishna Leela, or if you are new to this, so you may feel a little sleepy, or your mind may try to wander here and there. It will always try to distract you from the real truth. So, but if you keep practicing it for like just a week, within a week you will see the amount of difference in your life and your own mentality. It's like the people who surrender to Sri Krishna, they transform. God transforms them. It's like God brings them out from a place and then puts them in a place where they could not have imagined. And it's the most beautiful transformation. That is devotion. Then we come to all glamour of the world, or Swargaloka. This is what Arjuna is saying, is not enough to give me the true joy, love, or peace. So all of this that I mentioned, it can be destroyed in a minute in a natural calamity, right? It is not something that's permanent, it's very temporary. So Arjuna is saying that nothing in the world, nothing worldly can give me that peace, love, happiness, and the truth. But only Shri Krishna's devotion and bhakti gives you that. So what happens is, in life, when your punya, as in your good deed ka result, gets over, after a point you fall down from the ladder. Basically, let's say if in your past life you had done great deeds, and now in this life you have a very lavish and nice life, but your punya got over, then now you come back to zero. And then the man searches for happiness, peace, love, and then they end up in more engaged and entangled in Maya. So a lot of politicians got destroyed like that, and that is very sorrowful. So the best solution for this is taking Sri Krishna's Sharanagati, being devoted and being surrendered to the Lord. So knowing He will row our boat to the bank, He will take us out of the Bhav Sagar, and Krishna is the only one who can do it. There's no one else. I mean, yes, in you know, there are different names of God, but the most important thing is God exists in very pure energy. Specifically, it's the energy of truth, love, peace, and all of this is very unconditional. It's very, He has light in Him, and this is something that you will start feeling once you start developing a very close and deep relationship with God. When you start sharing things with God, when you start seeing the signs that He sends you, and yes, that happens. A lot of people will think that, oh, I don't know, this happens. Yes, this happens. Once you surrender to Him and consider Him your very own, that's when He starts showing you um, in little ways. And this is what we had to learn today. So we've come to the end of the video. I hope all of you are learning well. Today was a long video, but I know sometimes learning can be long, but at the end of the day, it helps you get closer to the purpose of your life, right? It helps you in your life, which is a big thing. Now, I'll come back again with another video. We'll see what happens in the continuation of this. And until then, take care of yourself. Hare Krishna, Radhe Radhe.